Educating, informing, serving. Fact TV, keeping government honest.
You are watching a Fact TV presentation of the Town of Athens Select Board Meeting.
We'll call the meeting to order. Any adjustments to the agenda?
I do want to talk about a estimate that I got for the town garage, bathroom and office addition.
Okay.
Okay. So we can do that in board so wishes.
Okay.
Anything else? Minutes from the prior meeting, I'll make a motion that we accept them.
I'll second that motion.
Second, oh, you seconded it? All those in favor?
Aye.
Public comment. How we doing? Don,
No.
public comment?
Huh?
Public comment? Do you have anything you want to say?
Think we said something.
All right. Go right ahead. 3 minutes we try and keep it. Go right ahead, Bill.
I wanna know how come we got a road crew that spends more time out of town than in town?
Okay.
See them almost every day in Harmonyville store. And I clock the mileage. And it's 3 times as much mileage out of town than it is town. I'm paying for that fuel. Never mind the salary. That truck should stay in town.
I don't know. What date, do you have the dates for that?
She took pictures. They're sitting there just hanging out like this on the truck on Harmonyville store. I'm paying for that salary and my taxes.
Right.
I'm paying for that fuel on my taxes. They're supposed to be working in town on the roads. So if they ain't got time to do that, then why don't they just pick up the garbage and bring the garbage away for us? They got so much spare time. I mean, the truck's only getting, 10 miles to the gallon? Maybe 15 tops. And if you're driving 30 miles out of town every day, 2 salaries. I marked the times down and mileage down, and
Would you like me to bring it up?
Yeah, you can bring it up if you have the dates there.
Yep.
it's all the time.
What are the dates? June 9th
Got the time, everything.
at 7:18 a.m. And what store? Oh, that's Harmony.
Harmonyville.
All right.
Okay.
That is June 8th at 7:21. June 7th at, doesn't give it, 7:19. That's June 15th at 7:17.
We were supposed to come in last month to do this, so it would have been more time. Broke the dog got sick and we were up to saves. So I brought it in now. My run has changed, so I'm not driving by there that same time in the morning right now. So I don't know if this month has been the same, but at that time, and one of the other mornings of that same time period, they were on the West River Bridge in Townsend. Another morning in that same time frame, they were on right in front of Leland and Gray High School on Route 35. So it appears
Stopped or going, moving.
coming this way, coming towards Adams. But other people have said they head that way at 7 or 6 something, 6 or 7 in the morning, head south. We've clocked it out. Going south. Zeroed at the town garage. Here it is.
All right.
I think that's ridiculous. Suppose, do they get a paid coffee break out of town?
Well, if they are out of town and they want coffee, they get to have a coffee. But to say a paid coffee break outside the town, that's not in the personnel policy specifically, no. I don't think it says.
Well, you have right there, 3 days in a row.
Right.
Wait, what was your name? I'm sorry, I'm Krista.
Anna Warren.
Anna, what's your last name?
Warren, W-A-R-N. You know, we got our garbage, our trash run tossed out to once a month. I think that's ridiculous.
It
We're
would be
paying
better.
$3.50 per bag. I don't care. The recycle can go once a month. I think the trash needs to go definitely more than once a month. And if they've got the time and everything to be out of town, just riding around, why aren't they in town picking up the trash?
Okay,
Thank you.
all right. Do we have that?
Sure.
All right. Anna, anything for public comments?
I just have a quick question. If a landowner needs to take down a tree that's going to fall across the town road, what's the procedure for letting the town know or getting help with flagging or something like
I
that?
don't know that there really is a procedure. I think they should probably talk to Matt to work out when they're gonna do it and how it's gonna get done. Is it in the right of way?
Probably.
So I would think they would be able to help them get it down.
Okay.
Um,
Is that it? Would it be a thing to talk to the tree warden or just ask Matt?
Could, yeah, certainly could run it through him about that, but I would have him talk to, road crew.
Okay. Thanks.
All right. Treasurer's report, boards and officials.
You want the treasurer's report
Sure.
first? All right, so you guys have your balance sheets and your budget reports there. The only major thing I'd point out on the balance sheet is that, in the first column, the general highway fund on the first page, you'll see that our total assets is a positive number, which is different than last month. So we've gotten some tax payments and we've gotten the reimbursement from the Beaver Pond culvert work, so we have money.
Okay.
On the budget report, I mean, you can also see the taxes reflected in the top line there. We've collected 27% of the taxes, and as we know, they're due September 11th. And then you can see in we're looking at the revenues on this first page here. Under grants and other governments, you can see the state grants has a 165,673 in it, which reflects that 145-ish, I think, that came from can't remember the exact number, but that was for the Beaver Pond culvert reimbursement. I was just looking through here and I'm noticing that the sales of trash bags are down from, what we had predicted. That's down in the second to last group on this page. So I don't know, just something to notice. And we just went a little bit over budget for town office supplies because we had to purchase a new land records book and a bunch of paper. So that's on the second page, town office expenditures. I don't expect there to be very many more expenditures for the office supplies the rest of the year, though. Does anyone have any questions about money stuff? Great.
All right, thank you. Boards and officials. Did you have anything, Hannah, for boards and officials?
I do have, well, I have a question. I just wanted to know, last month we knew that the oil tank in this building had failed inspection because of the fill pipe leaking, and I wanted to know if that had gotten fixed yet. The Dead River called me this morning asking if it was fixed yet.
Kind of like, why are we all looking at him?
Yeah, I didn't hear anything about, well, I wasn't here at the last meeting, no, I've been happy to
It
place
needs,
the call.
I think all it needs is to be put, some tape put on the top joint
Re-threaded.
where it's threaded. It showed signs that some had leaked through there on the infill.
Oh, usually I see that kind of work, it's, piped open, they put it together, but, yeah, so they suggested it's something that we could fix ourselves.
Yeah.
Oh, well, take a look.
No.
Okay, thanks, Don. Appreciate it. So there's a letter in the select board box from Wyndham Regional from Chris Campanay saying that the municipal assistance program is moving forward and we've been assigned a consultant. Her name is Maggie Foley, and she should be reaching out to schedule a meeting with the select board in late August or September. And that would be to get going on, like, this would be the person who's a grant writer, project manager, helping prioritize town projects, lining up plans, all of that. So I guess if the email comes to me, I'll forward it, or I'll give the chair a call to try to schedule something.
Okay.
What was her name?
Maggie Foley. I think she lives in Guilford. There's a bio of her on that email that I put up there. She's going to be working with Athens, Halifax, and Brookline, I think. Or Dunmer's, probably Halifax, I think.
Athens, Brookline, and Wardsboro.
Wardsboro, there you go.
And she's working on with all three of us individually, not
Individually.
Oh, the-
Yeah, but it sounds like she's a consultant that Wyndham Regional brought on to implement this municipal assistance program. And then the only other thing is that I did have the 5 most recent land records books scanned and put on microfilm, and that expense came out of the Records Preservation Fund, which is the new one that we're creating with the surcharges for recording. And I still haven't gotten the microfilm up to the state archives, but I will do that. They will hold it for free for towns, so we're almost all backed up.
All right.
Do you know how many more we have to go?
Well, it's just the current one that hasn't been backed up. It doesn't really make sense to back up a book that's still in use. So I figure I'm going to try to do them like 2 books at a time from now on. Yeah.
Thanks for doing that.
School board?
Yeah, so I've got the letter from Lynn, which I'm going to read from my phone. At the May 25th community forum, there were only 4 parents and 1 community members that attended. Concerns brought up were discussed by the board and those in attendance. This provided information that the board can use for future decisions. Thank you to all who attended. The next community forum will be Monday, September 18th at 6:30. Meet at the Grafton Elementary School. The principal and the kindergarten interview committee recommended Danielle Watsonza, Ms. W, to the board for the GES kindergarten position. Her appointment was unanimously approved and she has accepted the job. The SU has been able to hire a special education teacher that will fill the open positions at GES. The board unanimously approved the appointment of Ms. Clout as a librarian. She will work on Wednesdays throughout the coming school year. An interview committee has interviewed 1 person for the music position and recommended that the board appoint him. The board voted unanimously to offer him the position. The Grafton Elementary School is still looking for an after-school program coordinator. Once a written description for the job is available, it will be posted on the town's webpage. Due to health issues, Harold Noyes has to resign as a school board member. We are currently looking for someone to replace him. Anyone that is interested should contact the supervisory union office and leave your phone number with Nicole. Currently, GES has 33 students enrolled for the 2023-2024 school year. Of the 33 students, 7 will be incoming kindergartners. Last year, we only had 3, so it's more than double, which is great. The new replacement septic pumps have arrived and are scheduled to be installed today, August 17th. This should have the septic system in full working order and ready for the first day of school. The research for playground designing and equipment has been completed. The equipment components that were decided upon have been ordered. They are expected to arrive in January 2024 and will be installed as soon there as possible. August 28th, the teaching staff will be doing a party bus ride through the Grafton and Athens between 2 to 3, handing out cookies and goodie bags to GES. August 29th, the 2nd and 3rd grade students are invited to a welcoming between 2 to 3. The first day of school is August 30th. The kindergartners will only have half days for the first week of school to start full days the second week. Following a ruling from the state that all schools needed to be checked for PCB contamination, most of the Vermont school districts have joined a class action lawsuit against Monsanto, who is responsible for the PCB contamination in school buildings products from 1930 to 1978. The Wyndham Northeast school districts are also part of that lawsuit. So all of the individual schools are individually part of the lawsuit, including GES. The high school has been tested, and there are currently 3 spaces in the school, the gym, auditorium, and stage, that cannot be occupied due to high PCB contamination. More testing is needed, and consulting will be done to determine how to mitigate the contamination. And if anyone's interested, there was an all-district meeting last night that'll be on Fact TV where all the school boards discussed it, and there's also a meeting tonight in Bellows Falls about the PCB in the high school that should be televised soon.
But none were found in the school out here at the elementary school.
The one, to my knowledge, the only one place where it was found in the district is in Bellows Falls. However, I do want to note that when there is construction or things, you test the air, and so nothing has been found, but that doesn't mean that there couldn't be some way that the school's affected to be found in the future.
Could you forward that email to me so I
Yep,
can
I'll do that
include
right
it
now.
in the minutes? Thanks.
All right. The listers would like the property valuation and review form number 4155. And I'll make a motion that we approve that and sign that. Is there a second?
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. I forgot one board report. Can I mention this? The other one is the Campbell Fund. So we did approve one application earlier this year, and the amount that we gave out has already been completely repaid by the person who borrowed it. And we received another application, and so the Campbell Fund will be meeting on Monday to go over that application. And I just want to remind again, all money that has been borrowed since I've been on there has been fully paid back, and it's usually a matter of months. So,
All right.
yeah, that's great.
All right. Nobody else has anything for boards and officials?
I do
Oh,
for the
go ahead.
community center.
Yep. Go ahead.
We met last month, and I know Hannah had let Josh keep the key for the community center. And the board is not comfortable with that, as Josh is not an elected or an appointed official, and we believe that he should just go through the process if he wants to use the community center again, of asking for it, signing out a key, then returning the key when he is done with it. We really aren't happy with him just having a key, just in case he needs it.
All right. Then why don't we ask him for it back?
Okay.
Chili cook-off.
Huh?
Chili cook-off was the other thing with it.
Oh, the chili cook-off. Yes, I'll let you, because you're the leading maniac of the chili cook-off.
I've been wanting a chili cook-off for 2 years. So
She got her way.
So we will be having a chili cook-off on Saturday, September 30th at 5 p.m. If you consider it chili, you can submit it. There's no requirements other than you just provide a list of the ingredients. The way that it works is it's free to submit. If you want to be a taster, you get to vote on it, and it'll be a $5 entrance fee, and then you vote on your favorite. First place will be $100 gift card to J&H Hardware. Second place will be a $50 gift card to J&H, and third place will be $25. We already have 2 entrants that aren't me, so that's 3. And it's no one I'm related to either. So I hope you all can come and cook or at least try it. And it's $5, and all that money goes to the meeting house. Please come. Sorry, community center. There's 2 red buildings in town. I'm sorry.
Yeah, there's also September 2nd, there's the tractor
Yeah.
show in Grafton, which the community center has booked a table for, and they're gonna have baked goods there. So if anybody wants to donate baked goods or go buy baked goods,
Yep.
that would be appreciated also.
Or both.
When is that?
Or
Cindy?
both. September 2nd,
September
over in
2nd.
Grafton. They're having a tractor show, so.
And try to remember and I'll make something.
You said there was no requirements, but is there a certain amount of chili you need to do?
A crock pot, like if you were to make it.
Yeah, we're gonna get small cups, so that it'll only be, like a 3 or 4 tablespoon sampling of everything.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, but if you want to make chicken, beef, vegan, turkey, whatever you want, just make sure you have fair. Just bring the ingredients.
she got her chili cooked
I've
out.
been waiting for this for 2 years.
Accepted all that.
All right, we will move on to the RFP for Reef Road, and we have,
I wanted to mention about the estimate that I got for the town garage for the bathroom and office.
all right,
I had talked to a contractor, another one, and he came out, it was, builtco.com. And I told him what we were in need of, and we went with a 12 by 60 addition on the side of the, town garage that
a
with
12 by 1?
60, because the
Yep.
building is 60 foot long. And I told him the specs that we needed and stuff, and he came back with a $160,000 estimate. So I talked to him, and because I had mentioned before that we may downsize it. And so he came back. I haven't got it in print yet. This was just a verbal one of $90,000 for a 12 by 30. That would do an office, a bathroom,
And
and a small storage area, probably for a fuel tank or whatever.
So how much for that?
90,000, which is not that bad. Seeing 3 years ago, we got one just for the bathroom for 60,000, with prices and everything. And that's with the 4-foot frost walls, bathroom appliance.
And there'll be an entrance to that from inside the building, also an exterior entrance?
The idea is that you go into the office from the front of the building, and then you can access the garage area. But most people don't need to go into the garage area. And then the bathroom would have an entrance from the office into the bathroom.
Does it include the insulation?
No,
Or, no, it's just the addition part.
it's just the addition and everything to finish it off. And that's not including the roof. That's just for the
other,
addition.
the roof on the addition.
Oh, yeah. It'll be a complete addition, but it won't, it's
Won't
not
be- it won't
anything
be
of the
together
main.
with
It's an open air addition. This way it won't get stale and stagnant air in there, everything will,
Nothing on
Sunlight,
mold.
will build up.
And I have, from Michael Marquise, I have his, what are we gonna call this? His proposal for engineering services and retainer agreement. Where, we are gonna need $2,000 out of the ARPA fund in order to get the permit and the design of the septic system for the town garage. And that needs a signature.
Can I
Well,
read it?
Yeah,
I think before we do that, we're going to have hearings on the ARPA funds. Have to have the meeting, I don't know what they call it exactly.
It's just a informational forum to get, input from the townspeople on what they would like to see the HARPA money being spent on.
And I think we need to do that before we spend any of it.
And that's a minor thing, would
Well,
probably.
we better do it soon because
I was gonna say, how long is that estimate good for?
For a little while.
it's good for a little while. I mean, he did give it to me a little while ago, but he wasn't pushing it. So,
I believe it's what, 2 years? The plan
well,
and everything.
the permit is going to be good for, he wasn't sure if it'd be 1 or 2 years on the permit.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, you know, his design, he has every right to up the price if we don't get back to him.
Yes, but I don't believe that we should sign that or
Okay.
agree to it.
It's good until, the offer's good until October 1st.
Yeah.
So that's
Okay.
not long, but we have another select board meeting.
Yeah, but we can have the,
And do you want this hearing go, at a regular select board meeting, or do we hold a special hearing date?
Do we-
we probably could do a special one, special hearing date. Because it's similar to a select board meeting, you don't only have to warrant it 3 days. And that, it's just to get the community's input.
All right, so why don't we, decide on a date that'll be good for everybody and schedule.
Okay.
All right, anything else, boards and officials?
We have the agreement from Sir Sosimo for, Reed Road. That probably comes under roads.
That goes under RFP.
Okay.
We'll go with that, the next one. All right, so we'll move on to the RFP for, Reed Road.
And did Chris take a look at that?
And we
yet?
get two,
Yeah.
Okay.
She can she can take a look at it.
Which one?
This is an agreement for entry or limited release. It's just so we can put in a temporary road into Sir Sosimo's property, which he looked it over and signed it, and he doesn't have an issue, and I did take it from, I reduced it to its bare bones, let's put it that way. And we don't have a time limit on it. He's agreeable to whenever the project starts.
Didn't,
Who's that for? Oh, yes,
Scott say we didn't need to remove the trees from the stream?
well, you're gonna have to take some to get down in there.
yeah, they're gonna have to be moved only because of the, they're gonna put boulders first, 'cause- and the trees are right where,
The boulders are gonna go.
yeah.
So, yeah,
So
everybody said
they're basically, they're not gonna pull the trees up the grade,
just moving them.
they're
out of
just
the way.
gonna move them out of the way.
All right, so we got two bids. One was from Ivor Stevens. And that bid was $135,500, and we got a bid from A.S. Clark for $121,750.
Can I just-
What was the second one?
A.S. Clark,
How much?
$121,750.
Can I ask a question about this real quick? Are we having the people on the road sign this?
No,
No. Who's, okay, because it was just talking about the owner, so I was just asking.
the
It's-
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
just the owner.
Oh, okay.
so,
It looks good. You put in a legit clause, which was good. A plus.
Good job.
Do I get a gold star before next
So,
year?
Ivor's bid has guardrails, this one? Oh, guardrail, never mind, set the bottom.
Okay.
I have a question, are we getting FEMA funds for this? Maybe.
We don't know.
We don't know yet.
Hopefully.
Hopefully we will. And we are applying for them, and asking for them, but that'll be their decision whether we get them or not.
And has there been any more sliding from that area?
I personally think there's been a little more, but not a great deal. Just not every time it rains, it just
A little more.
does a little more.
I signed it. Denise needs to, Denise needs to sign it.
Oh.
And, and the Jersey barriers are doing their job.
Yep, so far nobody's gone over the edge. What can you say?
I'm sorry, did you say the key differences were that I-bores includes guardrails?
No, they were both, they were
No,
both,
no,
it was a little further, they both are guardrails.
Well, you can see it in a minute.
Yeah, yeah.
That's right.
Here,
Thanks. So forgive me, what are the key differences between the bids? It looks like they're doing the same thing.
They
I know they are, but like there's just a price difference, so I was
Price
wondering if there was something they were doing extra that's causing it to cost $10,000
I did
more.
notice the length of the guardrails was a little bit different, but not much. I think one is 60 feet and one is 90 feet, or one is 70 feet and one is 90 feet.
A.S. Clark's is 90.
what's Ivers?
70.
So Ivor's is shorter and it's more expensive. I mean, if they're doing the same thing and if you've worked with them and you think the quality works the same, then I think it would make sense to go with the cheaper one.
They're the one that put it on.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All right, does somebody make a motion on
I
that?
make the motion.
and
Yeah.
I'll second the motion.
No, see, darn it. Janet
To
was
go
one.
with A.S. Clark?
Yeah, to go with A.S. Clark.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Yeah, back road.
And you have the paper that was signed from Sosamos allowing us to go down in there
Yep, and
and
that can go,
give that to Anna to go in the file.
yep.
All right, we'll move on to the sand bids. We have two of them. One is from Derrick Excavation.
What's the other company?
Derrick. Derrig. Derrick.
They're out of Putney.
1,000 yards, 3/4 inch winter sand, delivered town of Athens, with a price of $23.80 a cubic yard delivered. And this is from JP Trucking, Hodgkin and Sons, and this is for $24 per yard delivered,
Cubic yard or yard?
cubic yard. They're all cubic yards.
Delivered. So just $24. Okay.
So Derrick's is 20 cents a yard cheaper.
Who did we get sand from last year?
Basin Brothers, I think.
And they're not bidding this year?
Nope.
Okay. Have we worked with Derek or JP before?
Yeah, JP we have.
Any problems? No problems?
No.
No. And Derek's, Matt's looked at sand. It's good.
Derrick is been in business for a long time, doing Putney Dummerston area.
So the
budget for sand is 19,000, in case any of you were.
So I'll make a motion that we, go with Derek, excavating, up to the sum of 19,000 worth of sand.
I'll second that motion.
All those in favor?
Aye. What about salt?
Well, we don't usually get the contract just yet, that's all.
I know we had used Appalachia salt before, and he was very happy with that salt.
Yeah, seem to use less because it's larger. And it melts good
Yeah.
under cold conditions.
It doesn't bounce around.
Yeah, doesn't turn to mush.
So with that price and the money that we have, it'll be about 800 yards. 800 yards that we will get instead of 1,000 yards. So
Is that enough?
we hope.
I mean, I know you never know, but is that like on par with what we normally get?
Usually get 1,000 yards,
Usually get 1,000
1,500
yards.
or 1,500. We
I
have
mean,
before now.
yeah.
Um,
I mean, hopefully we don't have a bad hay season. Everything's at home.
all right, we'll move on to the scoping grant.
Did you want me to give these to Hannah?
Yeah, give those to Hannah and just let somebody like Matt know that they come back there.
Okay.
Hannah, did you have something for the scoping grant?
Yes. Okay. So, so this scoping, it's proposals. I mean, there is a grant involved. So the VDCC, Brattleboro Development Credit Corporation, is that what they are?
Yeah.
Offered the town $6,000 to be used towards the scoping phase of both the town garage and the community center projects. And so Don and I met with a couple of architects, and we had a previous proposal from David Cotton, which turned out not to be exactly what we needed. And then one of the other architects or engineering firms that we spoke with declined to make a proposal. So we have one, and I emailed it around to the board, from John Zaccaccio. There's separate proposals for both the town garage and the community center, and this would be for doing schematic design and cost estimating for both buildings, and those phases are necessary for certain grant applications, like the USDA Community Facilities Grant. So the costs came to $21,975 for the community center scoping work, and $10,425 for the garage. So we have $10,000 in grant money to put towards this work, and it would not be complete in time to apply for the December deadline of the USDA Community Facilities grants. But we could have it for either the April 2024 or the December 2024 deadlines. For the town garage, that could get us another $50,000 towards the work that needs to be done on it.
How long would the scope and work be good for, to then go and apply for grants for?
Well, it's
Is
a
it a
good
time?
question. I mean, I don't know for sure. The schematic design would certainly be good for quite a long time. The cost estimated would probably have a several month, limit for, I mean, knowing how things are right now. But I think it could help us get grants. I mean, even if the cost changes, it would be, it's like a requirement. I mean, something I should have prefaced this with, and I think I included it in the email, is that the town is not going to get that earmark money that we applied for the community center. So my sense is that if we want to use our $10,000 in grant money towards scoping work, it should go towards the town garage at this point, because our grant plan for the community center is pretty unknown. And hopefully that's something that this municipal assistance program can really help us with once we get onboarded there. If the town doesn't, so if we put 10,000 towards it for the town garage, the town would still have to pick up $425. And there's a little bit of complication with when the money has to be used. I think I'm working that out with BDCC right now so that we do have that full $6,000 available. They had some stipulations about wanting it to be used by the end of September, and I'm hoping that that can all be put towards a down payment if we decide to go forward with this work.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, that's certainly like a condition that to consider, and I'll certainly let everyone know. So I don't know. I mean, I think it's,
But we have to do the grant from BDCC before when? We have to have that encumbered?
They had initially asked us to use the money by August 31st. I just got an extension on that we can use it or make the decision basically by September 31st. But they're being a little weird about, if we use it as a down payment, they don't want a down payment to be more than 50% of the total project cost, which would end up being $5,213, which is less than the total $6,000, and which would mean the town would have to put in more money. But I pointed out to them that wasn't clear in the grant agreement, and I'm hoping they'll come back and just let us put down a 60% down payment.
Okay. So do we have a motion for that?
I just have a quick question.
Sure.
Hannah, is there a time limit, once the scoping work is done, or you really don't know that yet?
A time limit for what?
To do the work. I mean, the scoping work just sets a time, tells them exactly what has to be done, but that's good for.
The schematic design is good indefinitely. Cost estimating, like I said, will probably have a lifespan, but it's input into other grant applications, and so it's sort of like you have to do this if you want the USDA grants.
But you don't have to, just because we've got the scope and work done, does not mean we have to do that in a certain period of time or anything.
Correct. Yeah, correct.
I should mention on that bid the estimate that I got from that company, there was an engineer doing the diagrams and stuff. So.
All right, do we have a motion?
Don wants to say something.
No, you can give me that motion first.
No, go ahead, Tom.
Well, I was just gonna say, working with Hannah on this one, and it's a tough one. I was disappointed that the bids were as high as they were. I mean, Dave Cotton was right in line with John. It's a tough one. It'd be nice to go after when you're going after a multiple amount of grants.
Okay.
I don't feel as though like I can make a hard sell as to we should do it, or we don't really need to do it. We'll get some information from the MERP level 2 assessments.
I mean, I think we need it for, if we're gonna go ahead with trying to get grants, it's gonna be a necessary thing to have, so.
Yeah, I mean, one other thing so Don and I both agreed that John Soccaccio seems really great to work with. He's very enthusiastic about working for the town, and he's very willing to work with different grant funding cycles and input from MERP. He does, I mean, I don't know if you looked at the proposal I emailed around, but he's doing other work for other municipalities, and he's kind of like used to this.
Out of the 3 architecture firms, he's the only one that's done this type of scoping work before, so it's familiar to him. And Yeah, he had a lot of creative ideas and enthusiasm. Be nice if we could afford all that he suggests, but he I got a totally different vibe with him as far as he'd love to dive in.
Okay. All right, do we have a motion?
Now, you said that you got an extension till the end of September?
Yeah, so I think the extension is like a grant agreement extension so that we wouldn't actually have to spend the money till September 31st. And it's because we're trying to clarify the manner in which we spend the money and get that like larger percentage down payment approved through BDCC, and they weren't able to get the it got confusing today, and the woman we're working with, she's wonderful, Rachel Shields Eversole. She's really great. She's not super experienced, and she wasn't able to answer these questions without talking to other folks in the office. So she got us an extension.
Would it be possible to put it off to next selectmen meeting to make a vote on it so that we could gather more facts?
I think so. I think it might be nice to let John know. I mean, his proposal's good for 30 days, so that kind of takes us just to next select board meeting. I don't know if you could.
I mean, if we're gonna do it, what do we need another 30 days for?
Well, I'm just saying, you know, whether we're gonna go for the town garage or the school, I guess that's my biggest
Well,
issue.
because the former school is gonna be 21,000. I think we go for the, just go for the garage.
Yeah, I think at this point, we'd go for the garage.
I also think that's more
community center
pressing.
Can wait.
It's pressing, but
Well, I mean, I think getting them a bathroom is just more important than, I mean, ours is standing. Everything that we want to fix up there is not something that I think is as important as a bathroom.
Yeah, I mean, the vault is a really important thing.
Oh,
Yeah. Just as far as priorities, but it is not as important as just getting a bathroom in the town garage. But it's like, I would say, a close second to get our land records out of that awful moldy zone that has only gotten a lot worse this summer.
Yep. I guess I just don't wanna waste the $6,000 on something we decide, we can do it another way for the town garage. I guess that's what I'm saying.
Is there a lot of detail to the schematics that the engineer did?
I haven't seen the diagram, I just saw the estimate for his, I mean, I can probably ask, because I've gotta talk to him to get me a written, cause the 90,000 was just a verbal over the phone. I asked him how much, and he said, well, you know, be 90,000 with, you know, cutting it back 30 feet.
Was there a lot of detail to when it was going to be built, or they basically going out with some kind of square footage? A lot.
He was just going by the square footage, but he had it broke down on, you know, cost for the bathroom, the foundation, you know, and the building itself, so.
If you want to share with him the USDA specs and see, you know, if he can do that. I mean, if you even think you need the $50,000 USDA grant for the town garage, I mean, I guess that's the first question. If there's enough money from ARPA and that the town wants to raise or go after other grants, then maybe you don't need this high-level scoping work.
The idea with the USDA grant, and we've applied for USDA grants. I know the places applied for them. They're not.
Aren't they really hard to get?
There's not as much given out by USDA as you might hope. It was like 200,000 or something we were looking at. Remember?
Back in the equipment grant, yeah.
Yeah, and that was for the whole southern part of Vermont, wasn't it? Or was it the whole state or the southern?
Well, that was what I understood. I might have understood incorrectly. Maybe it was just Wyndham County. I thought it was the whole state.
But it was, I mean, that's pretty limited funds for the whole big area.
It's hard to get a grant for a town garage.
I understand.
They don't seemed to,
But I think if we're gonna try for, I'm not thinking that we're going to get, a USDA grant, but we can certainly try for one with it. But if we're gonna try for it, we need the scoping grant.
Well, no, pretty much no matter which grant.
Mm.
Well, there are a lot of others,
Yeah.
such work.
Yeah.
But,
And
I think we go ahead with it, because we've got the 6,000, I think it would be wrong to lose that. And we'll have what they give us, and we can use it with, if somebody does it.
The other 4,000 was MERP, something.
yes, so we actually have the 4,000 that the state has sent us already for the MERP mini grant, and then the VDCC is a reimbursement, so we would have to pay the money and get it reimbursed.
so it wouldn't cost the town anything then?
No.
Okay. I was just worried.
It would cost the town $425.
Yeah.
I mean, if we get that for 6,000, and
So
That-
why don't we, at least if we prove it, why don't we pay them half through the BDCC and then have him give us a bill, if you think he's going to get right on it, a bill for whatever, within that 30 days by the end of September to pay, so that we don't have to worry about 60% to 50, or we'll pay the 50 out of theirs, and then if he presents us with a bill that we can use from them, and tell him that he has to.
I mean, if you let him know that we have a deadline that we,
he's not going to be able to complete the project by the end of September,
No,
if that's
but-
what, he
but
can,
if he-
can
if
start it.
he
He was
gets-
suggesting starting it in January, and I asked him if he could bring it in and start it sooner, but he may not be able to complete it until
That,
February.
I'm not saying complete it, but if he presents us with a bill for what he's done,
But that will be, Murph would need that too, right? The scope.
they'll need documentation how we used it, but they don't have a time frame.
No, I meant he would put in the scoping of the insulation and the roof and all that stuff.
Yeah.
You include the MERP data when that.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
so do we have a motion?
I make the motion that we go with this scoping.
for the town.
Whatever, for
garage.
the town garage.
I second.
All those in favor?
No.
Aye. Those opposed? Cause I only heard one aye and we need two. Aye, there we go, there we go, that's more like it.
Krista, did you say?
I did.
Could be my hearing, it could be everybody else
Did
not
everybody
talking.
say aye?
Yes.
Okay.
I got one.
Alright, moving on to roads. Do we have anything?
No, it's,
Alright,
I know he did say that he's stopped down to Kathy and Henry's a couple of times to talk to him, but nobody's been there. So I haven't been able to talk to them about that.
okay.
And I believe he's,
Because I guess what we thought was in the right of way, part of it is not in the right of way, what they wanted done, it's up behind that.
oh,
So I think that it
yeah, it's private property.
is, yeah, it's appropriate that we not do that if it's not in the right.
Right away, and it's definitely not in the right of way.
Yeah.
So, if it were in the right of way, we should certainly try to help and do what we can, but we shouldn't go up on the private road. Executive session. I will make a motion to go in executive session where premature public knowledge would place the town of Athens at a substantial disadvantage on a legal matter.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
This meeting was recorded by Falls Area Community Television, located at 1 Hospital Court, Bellows Falls, Vermont. If you would like a copy of the meeting, Our phone number is 802-463-1613 or email us at fact810@gmail.com. Falls Area Community TV, keeping government honest.